Welcome back to Sparky Park's Angels franchise. We are in the off season, and Max Scherzer has retired from the team. We assumed he would, but he is going to the Hall of Fame with Justin Verlander. They're going in as bros. Identical ERAs, 3.23, nearly identical strikeouts. Though Verlander has many more wins and innings on his resume, but that is two elite pitchers. And of course, they being linked together, going into the hall together, much like they were playing together in those great Tigers teams in the 2000s. That is wonderful to see. We have a few guys here that we're going to bring back. Patrick Sandoval, we're going to exercise his option. Same thing with Rengifo and Cody Hoyer. Keep them around for at least one more year. I'd like to see if Cody Hoyer can keep developing. He's no longer a prospect, of course, but I think he has lots of upside. Also thinking of bringing back Spencer Turnbull, recognizing that in the show he doesn't get shelved, but in real life, if coming off of Tommy John, he would be shelved for most of the year. There is a potential he might come back in September. So we're going to sign him again and put him at A ball. Griffin Canning, we're going to sign again. Look at how much he loves playing here. He likes our coaching staff. He loves being here and his role. He's a solid back end starter. I might consider keeping him around. I was planning on trading him, but we'll see if we ought to think about an extension for him for a couple of years and keep him as a sort of stabilizing force, and maybe there's somebody who's a little more expendable. So we'll sign Turnbull here, and we're going to let Drew Pomerantz walk. As for our coaching staff, we've maintained everybody from last year, and we're going to keep them around just as they are for one more season, I think, before we see if we need to do any upgrading. We'll see about that. As for the rest of this our plans for the offseason, I'm not looking to be too active in free agency. Last year we brought in a couple of guys, high-end players that were not highest end, but a couple of obvious reclamation projects, the kind of guys that we could trade at the deadline, and we did, and it was worth the effort for us, especially with Jordan Montgomery, who was pitching like an ace for us all season long and represented the Angels at the All-Star game. He was doing something like that, of course, would be of use. I'm not sure that this is the year to do that. I think some of our current players may be that kind of trade chip. Maybe it's, I suspect one or two of our pitchers, it may be time for us to see what the trade market is for Patrick Sandoval, for instance. So he's not quite an ace level, but we're going to see about that and take a look at free agency and see if there's anyone that is really worth taking a look at for us. But otherwise, I think we've got the core that we need to roll with through this season and see where it goes from here. Now, I think we're going to move ahead to the winter meetings. Here is the draft lottery. Nationals have the best chance at the number one pick. And we are down the list right in the middle of round one. And we're staying right in the middle of round one. But the Rockies moved up a spot to take number one pick. Nationals, then the A's. The Royals moved up a bunch of spots. And then the Red Sox, Jays, White Sox, and Guardians. So that was the draft lottery. Next, we're going to jump ahead and look at the Rule 5 draft. We had a couple of signings. Dylan Cease went to the Guardians, and Zach Gallen to the Guardians, and Bo Bichette went to the Rays. The Guardians just bolstered that pitching staff. That rotation is going to be strong. So let's take a look. Again, just like in free agency, we don't have a lot that we need. They haven't taken anyone that we wish we had gotten. They're looking at here. There are a couple of guys. We don't really need a starter, especially one who won't get to that potential before he starts to regress, probably. But starter is not our need, and actually neither is reliever, unless one of these guys was elite. We do have a couple of. I do of course love a little project in that. We do need some bulk closers for the team, but I'm not sure that any of these guys needs to be brought in. I suspect I'm going to have to get a closer in a trade. Similarly, I'm looking these. This is the space where these players go. I'm not thinking we have much need here. At catcher, we have our backup. I don't see that being the case. First base, again, I'm not seeing any high-end talent that is just just waiting to be brought in. We did get a steal last season in Reynel Delgado, who served as a primary backup infielder, and he ended up surprisingly holding his own throughout season 2. And so I'm not against bringing in somebody with talent. He was a B potential player, so that was a bonus for us to be able to grab somebody with that kind of talent who could come in and not sink, who might swim while he's there. JJ Bleday would be a steal in real life, as he is really showing himself as a decent starter in the majors in 2024, but in the game he is not there. He's not an upgrade in any way for us, nor the kind of piece we think we could build around. Don't see anything in center or in right. Again, the challenge when you're looking at the Rule 5 draft, if you don't already know, is you have to hold them on the team for the entire season if you want to keep them, and that means they really have to be able to have a role for your team, even if that's why they love relief pitchers end up being the easiest thing to draft, because you can, there's always mop-up duty. There's always an opportunity to pitch some innings. Andry Lara is may be the most tempting of the options. He has high strikeout upside. He's probably could handle the hits, and walks ratings are just high enough. If Bryce Matthews were a little further along in his development, or a year or two younger, but that's of course why he is unprotected at the moment. Bubba Chandler is probably the highest rated prospect in this group. Like I said, Andry Lara is actually quite tempting, but again, we have a team full of relief pitching prospects. So I am going to pass on taking anybody, I think, in this draft, and we're just going to keep moving from here. All right, going back to free agency, Vlad Jr. has signed with the Pirates 7 years, $129.5 million. That is a big deal. Next, Max Muncy signed, Paul Goldschmidt signed, Teoscar Hernandez, Lane Thomas signed, and Tommy Edmond signed with the Padres. So we've had some big movement for free agency this year. We didn't make any wild or crazy moves this year. Not nearly as strong as last year, but we are better. We are a much better team, and I think we have a lot of potential to grow now. Looking at our starting pitching at the top end, Patrick Sandoval is now up to an 85 overall. Like I said, he is not an ace and has not been pitching like an ace, but he has been pitching strong. He's an excellent number 2 starter. Reed Detmers is improving. Chase Silseth is improving. We're not seeing the growth in Silseth, in particular in his statistics. So that has been a difficult thing for us. But we'll take a look and see what else. Nolan Shanwell has improved. He's also he's now at the sort of place at which you definitely want him in the lineup. He's gone up 9 points in 2 years. Mickey Moniak in right field is probably maybe the most expendable, and particularly with the potential of Shanwell being able to play in the outfield, probably left field rather than right field. Taylor Ward being able to play anywhere. Joe Adell could easily move over to right, and in fact his stats make him a much better right fielder, I think, than left fielder. So Mickey Moniak may be someone it's time to move on from. He does like playing at home, and he has been solid for us. He won that Gold Glove last year, which was shocking, but he played consistently in right field and has enough speed and decent defense. So he has been sticking around. I'm not eager to dismiss him, especially since we don't have any major prospects in the wings in the outfield, but we do have prospects chomping at the bit to play in the infield, and particularly Tommy Troy. It's time to add him to the 40-man. It's time to bring him up and give him a shot in spring training. He is due. He has done what he needs to do. He needs to win the second base job and let Luis Rengifo be our super sub, essentially playing every day, but playing anywhere else on the field, and give Tommy Troy the second base job. We'll let Reynel Delgado get another year of seasoning. Edmundo Sosa has been somewhat disappointing for us. He has been a solid defender, and his speed has been a welcome addition to the team. But he needs to continue progressing, and he has not been progressing, which is really kind of surprising. Spencer Turnbull we're going to send to A-ball to sort of simulate his time on the injured list, recovering, and he will start his rehab probably late summer, early fall, seeing if there is a chance for him to make it back, depending on those developments. David Lakdawala, our number one pick in season 1, is getting a promotion. He was destroying AA, though not striking out a lot of batters. We're going to continue to have him work on that, but we're also going to have him work on another pitch, particularly something that could work on getting lefties out, and I think that would be a changeup. He's got an excellent fastball cutter combination. He is working on his slider. His sinker doesn't have a lot of movement, but it's a good control pitch, and we need to see if we can get something that's more dangerous against for facing lefties. Chase Silseth continues to be an enigma for us. Chase Chaney, on the other hand, pitched really well at the end of season 2. So we are looking to give him another shot in spring training to potentially make the major league team again, this time out of spring training. See, Silseth's numbers look good. That hits per 9 and strikeouts and decent walks per 9 and home runs per 9 should be yielding much better results than he is getting. Griffin Canning, as I said before, has been middling for us, but that's kind of what you expect from a 5th starter, and so he is still progressing for us somewhat. Warner Grissom, we should be giving him a look, and probably will soon. But right now we have a lot of people we're giving a look at in the bullpen, which include obviously Wantz, Herget, Soriano, and Quillada had extended time last year. They were the heart of our bullpen. Michael Kopech played really well. He pitched really well for us with a 2.4 ERA in his time last year. Sam Bachman was the story in season 1 and should be getting a chance here. Jose Suarez has been a stalwart. He has been progressing, but his starting spot was so low. His overall was so low that it is not there's not a lot to move. And then of course Ben Joyce and Cody Hoyer. These guys I really want to get an extended look during spring training. Give them every opportunity to make this roster. It is time to get them in the majors and get them hopefully progressing against big league hitters. So this is it is a full pitching staff. I really did struggle keeping this team because now we have enough talent that it is becoming difficult to let go of talent. Most of the D prospects that we have left, we have a few, but we've kept them in the organization because of depth and the need, because sometimes having too many players that you want to work, they won't get enough time to progress. So enough playing time. So we've got an outstanding pitching staff. This is going to keep going, and I think some of these guys at the top are going to be moving on soon. So we have some conversations to deal with this year. But let's jump in to spring training. We're facing the Kansas City Royals. Baseball is back. It is time. Pitchers and catchers have reported it is we're ready for some baseball. It has been a long winter, and we are excited to see this ball club. They were 82-80 last year. They were a scrappy team, especially given that we lost some guys for a good portion of the season. Here is Patrick Sandoval ringing up the first batter, Michael Garcia. Kyle Isbell batting second, and he drives one into the gap. So it doesn't take them long, just a few pitches into the game before they are already doing something. Now here's Bobby Witt Jr., who grounds out to first for the second out. Isbell moves up to third, but there are two away, and we get Velasquez to pop out. That ends the inning. Now here we go into the second against Freddie Fermin. We get a strikeout there. See, he is dealing today. Now we're going to move on to our half of the second inning, and here's Logan Ohapi, 1-1 count, and he drives one the other way. Beautiful swing for Ohapi. 416, 108 off the bat. Ohapi is the kind of hitter, if we can get him to bat around 250, if we can get him to be an average hitter, that power will just play. I like what he brings to this team, and hope we can keep him around. Mickey Moniak now up to the plate, and he drives a high fastball the other way, though it's carrying, and he's over the wall for back-to-back jacks. That was not the most impressive showing, but it was impressive that he was able to drive that high fastball the other way, especially when it was not over the outside part of the plate. That was actually good hitting from Mickey Moniak on that one. And the fielder leaps, but he can't quite reach it. It's into the grass. Here's Joe Adell, who is batting sixth today, and he drives one past the second baseman into the outfield for a single. So the Angels have come to hit. They're tired about this long winter, and they are ready to get running on this field. And on this diamond here, Adell takes and swipes his first bag. He gets on for the first time in the season. He runs for the first time in the season. Now here's Edmundo Sosa, dribbler to short, throws him out, and that's one away. Hopefully we can get Sosa's bat moving a little bit more. Here's Zach Neto, one away, runner on second. Oh, and we're striking out. That's our third strikeout of the game. No, we don't need to watch that. Here's Tommy Troy, his first trip to the plate. 2 outs, runner on second, and he drives it to the third baseman for an easy ground out. But the Angels scored 2 runs here in the second inning. Back-to-back home runs from Ohapi and Moniak. They both Oppo jacks. Now here comes in Cody Hoyer to pitch and give him some innings. He came in after, and he drives one over the head of Ward in left field. Don't like to see that. So runner on second, nobody out. Garcia flies out to center. There's one away. We brought in Cody Hoyer an inning early because Sandoval took a shot off his leg to end the last inning. But here Hoyer strikes out Isbell. Swinging. Look at how far out in front he was. Totally fooled on that pitch. Then here Bobby Witt Jr. flies out to right field. Moniak gloves it. And we have 2.5 innings played, and the Angels have a 2-0 lead. Top of the lineup coming up. Now here we are, 4th inning. Gets Velasquez swinging. Hoyer is looking pretty good. He gave up that lead-off double. First batter he faced. He's gotten himself a couple of Ks and has settled down quite a bit. He's facing Freddie Fermin. And just as I say that, he walks Fermin. Full count on a full count. Now here comes Michael Massey, who flies out to center field. Trout catches that on the run, throws it in. So 2 away here in the 4th. And he gets out of the inning. At the bottom half of the inning, Mickey Moniak, he's already had one, but he's not done. He pulls that one. He wanted one to go to right field this time, but he went 452, 116.5 off the bat. That may be that's first day of spring. That's the hardest hit ball of the spring in this game, but it may be the hardest hit ball all of spring. That almost hit the lamp posts. Here we are in the 5th inning now. Logan O'Hoppe at the plate. Runners at first and third, and he drives the ball to right field over the fielder's head. Both runners come around to score, and it's 6-0 off of an O'Hoppe double. So he is showing some extra base power too. Looking good on these swings. And here we are, 6th inning. And Davis Daniel gives one up, no doubter, to Nelson Velasquez, excuse me. 410, 105 off the bat. That was a big home run. But he settles down and strikes out to end the inning. Here we go, Zach Neto up to the plate. 1 out, full count, and he drives that one up the middle for a single. And our Angels don't like being scored on. Here comes Tommy Troy, who drives one the other way into right field. He's rounding first. The runner holds, and we have 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And now we have Taylor Ward at the plate. He drove in one of those runs on a sac fly, and now he's going to drive the other one with a gapper. A stand-up double makes it 8-1 Angels. These guys, I think they feel like they've got something to prove. Now here's Mike Trout, runner on second. And he's going to drive him in with a single up the middle. I think he didn't like that other guys were getting... oh, look at that. Swings inside, but the ball gets away. So Ohapi strikes out, but he is able to advance to first on the strikeout. And next is Mickey Moniak, who's already hit home runs. He wants another one against the lefty, but he grounds out to first to end the threat. Here we go, 7th inning, Joe Adell. And he takes that one, drives it to deep left field, and it's over the wall. Home run, number 1 for Joe Adell, 400 feet, 108 off the bat. He's power and speed combo. Want to see if we can get his bat going this year. 8th inning, Ben Joyce got runners at first and second. Oh, and he gets that one through. The runner's going to come home to score. Just can't get out of this inning. 2 on, 2 out, but he strikes him out. Like to see that when you give up a run to come back and strike out the next hitter. Here's Deshaun Knowles in, and he's showing an interest in playing at the major league level. That's a strong shot. I can't even see it. 376 feet, 98.8 off the bat. Here we go, 9th inning. Michael Kopech in to pitch, and he strikes out David Fletcher. He's got Charlie Culberson. And he strikes him out swinging. Michael Kopech wanting to make his case to break camp with the team, show what he can do in this bullpen. He's got Vinny P. Strikes him out. He strikes out the side to end game 1 of spring training. Team looks powerful. This team looks mighty. Looks like there's some room with this ball club. They might surprise some other teams. They've got some speed. They've got some increasing average. There's still some power. They can play at all facets. This pitching staff continues to improve. Magic bats go flying. So I like where this ball club is going into spring training. This looks good. This looks good for us. 2 for 4, 2 home runs. That's right, Mickey Moniak. You had a game. But I think that is going to end it for today. Next time we're going to get into the real stuff. Season opener coming up next. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.